Now at 9, an undercover operation. See what secret services shut down one massage parlor here in the Valley.
And well below average, why are temperatures decreasing? And a look at how it can change during Thanksgiving.
And a week away, Thanksgiving festivities have begun. We have the latest for the season of giving now on Studio G. Thank you for joining us today on Studio G. My name is Christopher Clark.
And I'm Hector Solomon. Let's get right to our top story.
Yesterday, the Republicans secured the 218th seat majority in the House of Representatives. After much delay in the midterm election, this win will now give the party a veto on the President Biden's agenda for the next 2 years. Representative Kevin McCarthy, the House Republican leader, said the era of the one-party Democrat rule in Washington is over.
And a Valley massage owner was arrested after allegedly disguising an illegal brothel as a massage parlor. Owner Wei Gang was charged with encouraging a brothel after police were tipped off by a customer who was offered much more than massage services. Detectives found 4 beds in a room and say the women had no ties to Las Vegas, rather were from New York and California. Gang is out on bail, but is due in court next month.
And Clark County replaced 2 school board incumbents while retaining a 3rd. Brenda Zamora, a first-time candidate, unseats incumbent school board president Cepeda in District D, while former Assemblywoman Irene Bustamante Adams defeats incumbent Danielle Ford. The board oversees the 5th largest school system in the nation, causing the school board race to uphold or append the current balance of power. Members of the Board of Regents serve 6-year terms and oversee approximately 100,000 students, including UNR, CSN, and our very own university, UNLV. And now let's toss to Jade for the weather. What do you have for us, Jade?
Thanks, Chris. Now, yes, November brought record low temps, but the sun is out today and the wind is low, so we're going to have a beautiful day as much as we can with 40-degree weather. And for our evening planner, it's not going to drop as much as yesterday. It's going to get cold as we go into the night, but it's going to stay pretty fair in the mid-evening. And across the valley, we have temperatures similar to throughout the week. As the day goes on, those are going to stay up, touching mid-low to low 60s. And that's all we have for your first weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Jade. The Henderson Police Department is holding their annual drive for winter items this month. The Warmth for Winter drive collects winter necessities such as coats, blankets, gloves, and more. Winter outwear can be donated through November 20th in the lobby of Henderson police stations. Donations can also be made at the Talk Shop with a cup this Saturday at the Galleria Mall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information about drop-off donations, visit the City of Henderson's events website.
And this Sunday, November the 20th, the Asian Community Development Council will have its annual holiday food distribution. Their food distribution focuses on serving fresh produce and culturally sensitive Asian foods. The 50-pound box of foods, did you hear that? 50 pounds of food will include rice, vegetables, and meat. The nonprofit offers language accessibility, so staff and volunteers speak languages like Vietnamese, Mandarin, and Tagalog to connect to everyone in the community. If you or anyone else is interested in picking up food for the holiday, visit ACDCNV on Instagram for more information.
If you want to build an appetite before the big feast, one of the biggest runs in the valley takes place Thanksgiving morning. The turkey trot runs along the historic railroad trail through Lake Mead recreation area until runners pass through the 6 tunnels of Hoover Dam. To join the fun on November 24th, visit runguides.com. And speaking of fun, gamblers are about to have a huge sporting event to spend their money on. Find out what that event is next.
This is CJ, CEO of CJ's Produce.
I'm the muscle, she's the brains.
It works.
My great-grandfather acquired Brantley Estates in the early 1950s. Mama Tia is my grandmother. She was actually the first in the family to get vaccinated. I was afraid. I came up with every excuse. My grandmother got her shot. I saw how strong she was. Why can't I? CJ needs his father to show him how to become a man. So I am fully vaccinated. I have somebody counting on me, so we made the leap.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
The World Cup in Qatar begins on Sunday, and the American Gaming Association is estimating Americans will bet $1.8 billion on the tournament. Around 20.5 million American adults are expected to bet on the competition, legally or otherwise. 31 states plus Washington, D.C. currently offer legal sports betting, with 5 additional markets beginning soon. The tournament itself will kick off with hosts Qatar taking on Ecuador at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Team USA will begin their World Cup campaign against Wales on Monday, with that kickoff scheduled for 11 a.m. Pacific time. According to DraftKings, Brazil are the favorites to win the World Cup at plus 400. Meanwhile, if you're feeling ambitious, Team USA are plus 13,000 to win the competition.
I can't wait, Chris. And as we creep towards the weekend in more sports, the UNLV Rebels are gearing up for a trip to Hawaii to play the Rainbow Warriors, and it's a pretty big game for the Rebels. The UNLV Rebels are 2 wins away from a bowl berth. It would be the first time they've qualified for a bowl game since 2014, but they only have 2 games left to do it in the season. The first of those 2 will come against Hawaii this Saturday, a team UNLV beat for their second win of Marcus Arroyo's tenure.
We're not casual in our approach in the way we practice, in the way that we demand our expectations in regards to what we want to do with this football program in this conference, in this country. And I think that that's been very clear, that the expectations and how we play football and how we do things on and off the field as a program is at a high standard, regardless of when and where. It just so happens we're at the end of the season, and it means a lot, and it means something for the first time in a long time. And so that's exciting.
And the UNLV Lady Rebels, they look to continue their flawless start on the year last night against Utah Valley. They did just that. Desi Ray Young and Alyssa Brown, they led the way for the Lady Rebels with 16 and 15 points each. And UNLV improves to 3-0 with their 82-38 win over the Wolverines.
The UNLV Skating Rebels hosted the University of Alaska Anchorage last night in the program's first home game in history. And this one didn't look good for the Skating Rebels early. Max Helgeson lets a shot go from between the circles and beats Landon Pavlison. UNLV wouldn't tie the game until the third period, where Alec Johnson fired this one-timer past Joey Lamoureux, and the Seawolves would come right back. Carter Belitsky gets a one-timer of his own. The Seawolves take the lead and don't look back. UNLV falls in this one, 3-1.
And the Vegas Golden Knights, they hit the ice at T-Mobile Arena to take on the Arizona Coyotes. The VGK and the Coyotes have lost their last 2 games. Puck drop from the Fortress comes at 7 p.m.
And the Silver and Black, the Las Vegas Raiders, head to the Mile High City to take on a divisional opponent in the Denver Broncos. The Raiders are entering this one on a skid, 2-7, having lost their last 3 games, but kickoff comes at 1 p.m., so better hopes.
And stay tuned when we come back for your sports updates on Studio G and our sports channel, The Rebel Report.
And now, this is Studio G weather.
Thanks, guys. Now Now coming back to our temperatures and the record low that November is having, we are usually in the low 70s to mid 70s throughout the day at the beginning of the month and dropping to 61 to 64 at the end of the month, but we have not seen a 70-degree day in a while, nor have we even been close to touch that. And to show you a chart of our 22 weathers right now, we have cool temperatures, which is a range which is supposed to be 65 degrees, but we have not touched that, as well as being cold, which is 55, and that is usually our normal day temperatures. So that is showing how we are having a very, very cold November. And on top of that, our sunset time is at 4:30. So the daytime, the daylight is running out and the temperatures are dropping fast. And for your 7-day, we have temperatures that are pretty similar. We see some ups and downs, but staying in the low to mid 60s. And we are not seeing a drop off or an increase throughout the week, but we are going to keep watching that as the week goes on. Guys, that's all we have for your 7-day and your weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Jade. And mid-60s works just fine for me. And the AED and Vitalant is hosting the last blood drive of the semester today from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The mobile van will be parked in front of the CBC building, and those who donate will receive a $10 Amazon gift card. To make an appointment, visit the Vitalant website and use the code UNLV.
And on your walk over, you can stop at the UNLV bookstore. It is a staple here on campus and offers many items for students to purchase year-round. Reporter Jade Thomas highlights some of the more notable products available to students and staff.
With the weather getting colder and the wind picking up as we further along into the winter, don't forget about your UNLV bookstore where they have all types of hoodies and other pickups that you can wear this holiday season.
Oh my gosh, do you see all this cute merch over here? Like I feel like that's the sole reason why people should come in here, number one. And just like the cuteness from those outfits, it'll just keep you warm. You know what I mean?
I mean, kind of the same reason as her. I mean, there's amazing stuff for winter, summer, everything. And I was looking over there, stuff for my mom for Christmas. So, good Christmas gifts too.
If you or anyone you know is interested in visiting the UNLV bookstore, the hours Monday through Thursday are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, and they're closed on Sunday.
For more information about the UNLV bookstore, you can visit their online store. And I don't know about you, Hector, but they have a huge assortment for graduation. I actually went there to go get my cap and gown recently, and I'm really looking forward to graduation as well. So
That must be such an exciting purchase to, it's like one of the final things that you get to do as a student is like buy the cap and gown, but it's like saying, yes, I'm at it, this is it. The finish line is near.
yeah, for sure. It's really exciting.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah. Definitely, absolutely.
Well, coming up after the break, we're going to sit down with a fellow rebel to talk about NASA's historic launch of the Artemis 1 yesterday and why the rebels might be joining them in space. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
CJ, CEO of CJ's Produce. I'm the muscle, she's the brains.
It works.
My great-grandfather acquired Brantley Estates in the early 1950s. Mama Tia is my grandmother. She was actually the first in the family to get vaccinated. I was afraid. I came up with every excuse. My grandmother got her shot. I saw how strong she was. Why can't I? CJ needs his father to show him how to become a man. So I am fully vaccinated. I have somebody counting on me, so we made the leap.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
And welcome back. Today we have Peter Matajek, an engineering student here at UNLV, and Peter is also part of the Rebel Sat Club here. The engineering department is leading the way in a lot of breakthrough technologies that we're having. Peter, you were an intern with NASA, is that correct?
That's right.
And what did you do with NASA? What was your responsibilities with them?
Yeah, so I was with NASA for 2 rotations. The first one, I was at Langley Research Center in Virginia.
Wow.
When I was a sophomore, I was working on the on-orbit servicing, assembly, and manufacturing OSAM missions. And then when I was at Johnson Space Center a year later, I was actually supporting the Artemis program and the development of the Angel device, which is pretty much this structure that astronauts would like to use when they go throughout their trainings before they get sent into space to the ISS to do their exercises.
And you mentioned working on the Artemis 1 project. Yesterday we had a story featuring the Artemis 1 launch.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about what the importance is of the Artemis 1 launch, and
Yeah.
what that means for space travel in the near future and in the more distant future?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, seeing the SLS Block 1 taking off from Cape Canaveral was definitely a sight to see.
Yeah.
Definitely wish I was out there for that. But you know, it's really cool to see, you know, a conglomeration of many years worth of work from engineers, artists, photographers, all really finally coming together to see a flight system being able to be tested before we actually send people to the moon. And, you know, based on the success of this mission, I think we're going to be able to see very quickly, you know, how soon we're going to be able to land that first person on the moon, since I think the last time was like the 70s.
Yep.
So it's a huge deal. I hope people really see, you know, how significant this is. And honestly, I'm personally super excited as an engineer coming out of college to be able to work on stuff like this.
Yeah, it's been 50 years since we've had somebody on the moon, but Rebel Sat, our own engineering club here at UNLV,
Yep.
is working into getting a satellite launched into space. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we've been around for 2 years. Our biggest goal is to put UNLV and Nevada on the map as a spacefaring state and community. Actually, a fun fact is that, you know, a lot of states across this country have been able to launch these small CubeSats, and there's only a handful of states that still haven't, including Nevada.
Really?
So we're really prioritizing that, making sure that the team is moving forward as fast as possible so that we can really get that going and get our name out there.
That's fascinating stuff. Thank you so much for your time today, Peter. But
Thank
don't you rock it off at home. After the break, we have entertainment for the weekend, so stick with us.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
UMergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. UMergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. UMergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your UMergency app now.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Feels like the semester just started yesterday, but Thanksgiving is already a week away and it's having students excited for the holidays. Our reporter Jade Thomas spoke with a couple of students on campus about the things that they're most thankful for.
With Thanksgiving around the corner and the season of giving approaching, we're going to talk to students and see what they're thankful for this Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving season?
So this Thanksgiving season, I'd be thankful for just my family and friends and yeah. I don't know.
I'm thankful for my friends and family, being able to have like small life problems like delivering computers. Food. Food.
What's your favorite type of food?
Pumpkin pie.
I would say that what I'm thankful for is my friends and family, but most importantly, these two right here, because they're the ones that really help me with everything that I do on a day-to-day basis in this job. So yeah.
For my family and my teammates over there, and just to still be here and still kicking it.
I'm thankful for my teammate Kyle Quinn and my family.
I'm thankful for my beautiful teammates here and this beautiful weather here in Las Vegas.
So I guess I'm thankful for my family and friends.
I'm thankful for good food and good coffee.
I am thankful for the opportunities in my life that happened so far.
According to Statista.com, the number of travelers for this Thanksgiving holiday is going to be around 53.4 million people. So whether you're a part of that group or you're choosing to stay home, we hope that you have a fun and safe holiday. From Studio G to you, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much for that, Jade. And Chris, what are you thankful for? I gotta ask.
I would just say, like, obviously the World Cup begins soon, but just the holiday season in general, honestly. Like, I'm looking forward to Christmas movies, watching those again. It's going to be great.
Oh, that's always the best.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome.
Staying in with this kind of weather. Oh.
Right. But yeah, you might have heard that adulting is tough, but that might also win you your next game of Scrabble. So adulting is now one of the 500 words that has entered the game's playable dictionary. Other words like vax and dox were also added to allow players to up their game and celebrate the expansion of our language.
From the Grammys to comedy to concerts, let's take a look at what's new in entertainment this week in this week's Weekend Rundown. First, following the disastrous presale for Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour, Tennessee Attorney General is launching an investigation on Ticketmaster to see if the company committed antitrust violations. Swift is set to enchant Sin City for 2 nights in March. General sale goes live tomorrow at 10 a.m. And Beyoncé ties her husband Jay-Z for the most Grammy nominations. She has now been nominated 88 times, including nominations for her album Renaissance. And Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny has made Grammy history, his latest album being the first Spanish-language album to be nominated for Album of the Year. Fans will have to wait until February 5th to watch the 2023 Grammys. It will be live on CBS from the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. And needing some last-minute weekend plans, Las Vegas has plenty of options. Emmy and Grammy-nominated comedian Kevin Hart is coming to Resorts World tomorrow and Saturday for his reality check tour. He is bringing new material, big laughs, and big energy to Sin City. Tickets are available on AXS. And Disney's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is set to lead box offices for the 2nd week in a row. The long-awaited movie was released a week ago. Tickets can be purchased at your local movie theater. Anything else you're looking forward to this weekend? Let us know on Twitter at StudioG_UNLV. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Lena. That looks amazing. And Chris, I'm looking forward to the World Cup this weekend. I know you are. That's something we're both thankful for. Kickoff will be this Sunday, 8 a.m. And I got to tell you, FIFA's no fool. And here we see a downtown shot of Doha, capital city of Qatar, where the first game will be taking place between Qatar and Ecuador on Sunday. FIFA's no fool, Chris. They are going to start their game at 8 a.m. to make sure that it is finished before NFL kickoff, because I think if fans had to make that choice between the two, it'd be...
It's going to be, especially in this country, it's definitely going to be NFL over that. It's funny because, you know, in England, they're going to be very excited about the World Cup, but over here, it's not as much. So
not as much, but I think that this is one of the teams that can increase that level of excitement because it's young, it's promising, and I think they're going to give the fans a good show. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us on Studio G. Be sure to tune in for more news after our holiday break.
Yeah, wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us today.
We'll see you then.